Damn, I should start all my videos like this. Honestly, it looks so much better in the sun. Probably the first time it's been outside in a month. But yeah, the rust is just too bad. But it looks good. That wing. Anyways, so today I pulled out the GC8, made some room for the other GC8, and that's what I'm going to be working on today. Getting the engine out and the transmission. But yeah, it's going to be a good day. As you may have seen in the previous episode, my first GC8 is complete trash. The chassis is rusted, I can't use it. So I started looking at other options, and the best options for me was to get a new shell. So I started looking at cars online, and I found one that would be suitable and not too expensive, not too far away. And I went there and I bought it. There it is. This is my 97 Impreza with a 2-liter NA engine and a 5-speed automatic transmission. Now this is probably the cheapest model of all the sedans of these years because of the transmission and the engine, and that's exactly why I went with it. I paid $600 for it, or 600 francs, which is about the same. But yeah, 600 bucks for this car is, in my opinion, pretty insane. The body is absolutely flawless. There is no dents, there is no big issue with it. The paint is in great condition. The only thing I could find on the exterior is this, which honestly, it's not too bad. Otherwise, body is 100%, and that's all I care about is the shell. That's all I'm going to use from this car. So as long as there is not too much rust, that's exactly what I need. And looking at the wheels and under the car, which you can't see right now, it's too dark, but I'll show you later. Looking at the chassis itself, it's in really good condition. Usually there's a lot of rust around the strut towers and the front bumper, but this one has absolutely nothing, which is already a good sign. But I actually looked under the car before buying it, and yeah, the chassis has barely any rust. The only spots I could find was on little seams or spot welds, where obviously it's less protected and it started rusting very, very lightly. So that I can easily fix with a wire brush or a flappy disc. That's not going to be an issue, and it's going to be part of the process of getting the chassis ready for paint anyways. So I'm not worried about this. Now, pretty much 100% sure I can use this chassis. So now I can go ahead and today hopefully remove the engine and transmission. I've done it so many times on the channel so far. I think this is the 3rd time pulling the engine, and it's getting kind of boring. So I'm going to be doing everything in this video, and in the next video, probably the interior. So yeah, it's going to be awesome. Let's go. Alright, so the camera just died on me, so I'm not sure how much you could see on the time lapse. But here's the current state. Front bumper is gone, under tray, sides, the plastic piece over there, hood. So next is gonna be the intake, the battery, and draining the coolant, so I can remove the radiator, and that should give me full access to the engine. And at this point, it's pretty much routine, so yeah. Before I keep going, I just want to show how the chassis looks like. This is a lot different from the previous chassis. This one is in much better condition. Already up here, I mean, there's practically no rust. The sides as well are really good. And the most amazing to me is this piece down there. So this is usually a really critical spot. And on this chassis, there's barely any rust. I mean, yeah, maybe a tiny bit down here, right where the bolt goes. Not sure how much you can see, but that's just a tiny bit. It's mostly dirty. But yeah, I mean, of course, where the bolt goes, that's gonna be more rusted. But everything else, this is pretty much intact. And the wheel wells are also 100% good. So yeah, that's as much rust as there is. It's just a little bit by the bolts, but everything else is perfect. I'm super stoked. Alright, I just got done prepping the engine bay. Everything is ready to go. Everything is disconnected. And it's all a lot easier on these cars than on the turbo models. Obviously you have no turbo over there, but all the lines are really accessible. And actually, I still need to do my steering linkage and everything under the car as well. So the exhaust, the transmission, and then inside the shifter, or I don't know how you call that for automatic, the thing. But yeah, I'm gonna do that tomorrow. Right now I'm pretty tired. I think it's already like 2 a.m. But yeah, so that's where I'm gonna leave it for tonight, and see you tomorrow. So I just got done pulling the drive shaft. It's all looking super clean down here, which is great. Everything went out really good. Did my glove trick again. It works pretty good. And I just wanted to show this. That's the automatic shifter. It's a little bit different than the manual, of course. But the good thing is you can just disconnect the cable, and that's it. You don't have to mess with the interior. Whereas on the manual, you have to actually go inside and remove the shifter, like I did over here. So you don't have to pull all this stuff on the automatic, which makes everything a lot easier. So now that's pretty much the last thing holding or connecting anything from the engine and transmission to the car. It's this, and then I'm gonna do the struts and the brake lines. And that's going to be the last things before actually dropping the engine. So yeah, and then for the engine, there's going to be 2 nuts here, these 2 over here, and luckily there's no U-brace on these models, so that's one less thing to care about, and then these 2 bolts, and I think that's all there is. So really not that many. So once I get those little things out of the way, it should be all good to go. So yeah, excuse my voice, I'm a bit sick today, but I really wanted to come in the shop and work on the car because it's Sunday and I'm gonna have to be working the rest of the week. So yeah, let me show you quick the underside of the car. The frame rails look really good. It's completely different from the previous chassis. And as you can see, there's a little bit of surface rust on the spot welds, which is completely fine. I can brush those out, no big deal. And pretty much all the rest of the rust is only on the subframe, axles, knuckles, that stuff that I'm not going to be reusing. So that's not an issue for me. And here, it's all pretty much perfect. A little bit of surface rust down here. It's mostly just dirty. That's all dust. But yeah, really good chassis. Super stoked. I still can't believe I found this for 600 bucks. But yeah, it's all good. Alright, the engine is out and everything went really good. It's actually a lot easier doing the automatic transmissions. Even though they're heavier and bigger, you don't have to mess with the shifter. And most of them don't have a turbo, so that frees up a lot of room. But yeah, also no U-brace. And this happened, not sure when or how, but I think both boots were pretty much toast already. This one's also broken, but yeah. I don't think I did that because there's a bunch of oil and grease everywhere on the knuckle. Oh, and one thing I noticed was on this model, you don't have a brace here, which on the other one sitting outside, there is a brace exactly from those plugs, this one and that one, all the way to here. These 2 bolt holes. Not sure how much that stiffens up the chassis, but meh. I can always grab the ones from outside or put aftermarket reinforced ones. Anyways guys, that's gonna be it for today. I'm super happy we got the engine and transmission out of the car safely, and the chassis looks amazing. I'm almost 100% sure we can use it. It's gonna be a great base. But yeah, sorry for those videos that are pretty much just me removing stuff from chassis, but that's what I gotta do for now. It's gonna get a lot more interesting soon. I'm hoping to be starting the rebuild. Not in the next one because we still have to do the rear of this chassis, but in the following episode, there's definitely gonna be some interesting stuff. So if you wanna see more, subscribe, go check out the other videos, and subscribe on Instagram. I always post stuff ahead of time. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.